Weiß Bescheid. In Ordnung.
Boom. 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 We're live, everybody. Hey, how are ya? This is Red TV and Conversation live broadcast. And I'm Peter Clark. That's who I am. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been a minute. It's been a minute for some people who follow the show and so on. So I so appreciate that. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. If you're watching this live, please make sure you jump into the comments and tell us where you're watching from. And I so appreciate you being here. And more importantly, as the show progresses, make sure that you jump into the comments and add some insights and anything you want to the conversation, because we can all learn from each other. Also, if you have been supporting this show for a long time, which I know a lot of you are watching right now have done that, big heartfelt to you guys. I so appreciate it. I've been through a lot of different things in the last 12 to 14 months, and you have been there for me. So I so appreciate that. Hey, if you're joining us for the first time, thanks for showing up. If you have seen the show before, you know what you're in for. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Hey, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been reaching out to me directly over the last, say, year or so. Health issues, all kinds of different things. And we listen, everyone goes through these things, and I'm not immune to that myself. So I've had some things that kind of were obstacles, shall we say, and you guys were there for me. So I super appreciate that. I really, really do. So thank you so much. A big heartfelt thanks to you guys. Okay, let's get started. I'm pretty excited about this concept. The theme today, business as a force for good. This is something I've often talked about for many, many years. Some people might not know this. I'll throw this out as a one-liner. You know, I have a CRTC license actually which is basically a cable television network called the Philanthropy Channel. So it was always about the idea of how do you bring philanthropy, business, organizations, people together? How do you do that? How do you have more of these conversations that we can celebrate people that are doing amazing things? Because let's face it, the world needs a little bit of kindness right now. It needs people need help out there. And I think business can play a really, really big role in that. There's companies and organizations out there that are running socially conscious business models. And you know, they operate in a way that they can be profitable, and also they can make positive impacts to society and the world at large, and you can still do it in a profitable way. And this is what I believe we should be celebrating, the idea that business can act as a force for good. So we have such a person here today and such a company. So it's a universal theme. Even though we're speaking directly to our wonderful guest today, think about how your business can participate in this model. Think about how you can support businesses that are running these kinds of models, where they're really, really purpose-driven businesses, and they're focused on doing good in the world. And I think that is just so super, super important. I'm going to jump into the comments real quick before we see who's here. Daniel, hey, look, I love this guy. I love this guy. This guy's story is unbelievable. So, hey, Daniel, I so appreciate you being here. Massachusetts in the house. Melody, oh, good to see you. Good to see you. I know the hair is short. I know you're going to say that. The hair is short. There's Maddie. Maddie, good to see you, Maddie. My good friend, Maddie. He's from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. everybody here, and make sure you're connecting with each other on LinkedIn. This is so important. It's really fun to do this stuff. Patrick Tinney, good to see you, my friend. Bancroft, Canada. Here we go. Absolutely. Sales and negotiation capital of the world. Yeah, he's in downtown Bancroft, just so you know, everybody. Absolutely. And here we are in Toronto. Somebody from Toronto is tuning in. Whoever you are in Toronto, hey, it's good to see you. Make sure you keep adding comments to the conversation and so on. And hey, here's a new friend. I just want to throw out to this guy. This guy's going to be a rock star on another show. I'm going to tell you something. This guy right here, Alex Robinson, this guy is going to be a rock star, and he's going to be on another show. Okay, let's get right to it. My guest today, I haven't met her in person yet, which is phenomenal. Which is actually the case with many of my guests. I don't get a chance to meet them in person, but we do meet this way, which is fantastic. So, quick little introduction about Carolyn Martin. She's the founder and visionary behind Sponsor Energy Inc. Okay. She's going to talk about a little bit about the company and how she started this entrepreneurial journey of a purpose-driven business. She has decades. I can't believe I said decades, because you'll know what I mean in a second. She has decades of leadership management experience in energy and technology sectors. She served as president of one of the largest member organizations for renewable energy professionals in North America. She's a graduate of Stanford University Graduate School of Business, which is the executive program in social entrepreneurship. So she's very committed to advancing socially conscious and profitable businesses. And here's the kicker. I think she likes animals. You're going to find out why in a few minutes here. So I'm pretty sure she likes animals. And I'm so excited to have her on the show. We're going to talk about all things that are good and businesses acting as a force for good. So please welcome everybody. Will you please welcome Carolyn Martin? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to see you. Hey, we haven't really met in person yet, so I'm really excited for that opportunity. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a chance to do that. So really nice to see you.
Great to see you as well. I'm on from my phone, so you just need to tell me if I'm, not in your.
I know. Hey, just for all, absolutely. We jumped on, did a quick little test. The computer wasn't working so good, so we just jumped on the phone. This is what's. Hey, you just problem solve. That's what we do. And Carolyn, that's great. I appreciate you taking the time out today to have this conversation, because I think it's an international one. It's one that we don't celebrate enough. And I know I'm going to add my voice to that conversation as we move forward with more of these shows, which is really amplifying good and what businesses are doing. I think it's really important that we figure out a way to remind people that you can run a profitable business and you can also be socially conscious. So here's some of Carolyn's connection points on the bottom. There's the website, sponsorenergy.com, and their motto is use your power for good, which is fantastic. I love that. I often say use your voice for good, Carolyn. So that's one of the things I like to mention as well. So let's start with, first of all, your family, everyone healthy, everyone good? Yes?
Yeah, everything's great.
There you go. That's we have to start with that. We always have to start with that, right? We have to start with that.
Long conversation if it wasn't, but yeah.
I might not even be here at all. So let's just talk about the theme of the show, the idea of business as a force for good. Let's start with why you decided to start Sponsor Energy. Tell me a little bit about the business. It's purpose driven. Tell us about Sponsor Energy and why you wanted to take that entrepreneurial journey. Talk about that.
Sure. Well, I'd been in the energy industry for a while prior to starting Sponsor Energy, so it was something that I knew. It's always good to start with something that you know. And I think, we've been in business now for almost 12 years, so it's been a moment. But yeah, at the beginning, I thought if I could find a business that sells to people who need to consume that every day, we'd be more likely to affect some social change. I had been an avid volunteer at the food bank and delivering food through programs like NeighborLink. And I noticed that the not-for-profit sector was quite separate from the corporate world that I was in. So they were kind of holding up signs and trying to look for money and desperately writing government grants. Meanwhile, corporate Calgary was thriving. So I thought if we could somehow bring those two together, so it wasn't just company goes and makes a lot of money and throws the crumbs to the other side over there, but really baked in to all of the everyday transactions. it could be a force for good. So yeah. So we
Absolutely.
thought
Absolutely.
electricity and natural gas is perfect. We all need it. We all use it. We all hate to buy it. And there's no getting around it. So that's kind of how it all began. It was an idea that I wrote a business plan for and just decided to execute on.
Yeah, and just for the record, I mean, a little bit about Sponsor Energy. Just describe what it is for people who are watching. It's a reseller, it's a
Sure.
retail. Yeah, just tell a little bit about what the company is, just so that we have context as we keep going.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. We sell electricity and natural gas. So we sell to homes and businesses throughout Alberta. And just like you might buy your power or gas from NMAX or Direct Energy or EPCOR, instead you can buy it through Sponsor Energy. It's the same stuff, comes from the same place through the same wires. You're just making a choice to buy it from one company over another company because we are deregulated here in Alberta.
Right. And so again, that's I love this idea because everyone consumes energy. I mean, it doesn't matter where we're watching this and having this conversation from in the world. We all consume energy, electricity, and sometimes natural gas, these kinds of things. And you have a supplier coming into your house or your business, and you have a choice to decide, which kind of company you want to use and support. And what you're saying is basically you're taking the idea that you have to buy this stuff anyway, and
Yeah.
while you buy this stuff, you can be supporting a company that has a purpose-driven mission. So talk about that for us, if you will, the idea that you have a socially conscious business model. Just explain to people what that model looks like.
Sure. I mean, the model really hasn't changed. 12 years ago, we formed partnerships with about 50 charitable organizations throughout Alberta, ranging from food banks in Edmonton, Lethbridge, Calgary, Airdrie, to animal welfare organizations across the province, such as ARCS, the Meow Foundation, Central Alberta Humane Society, and many other worthy charitable organizations like STARS, the Alberta Cancer Foundation. So basically, we picked 50 charities and we decided to partner with them formally and share the profits. When anyone signs up for electricity or natural gas with us, $50 goes to the charity of the customer's choice. Then a couple times a year, we get to collect collect the checks and really go out to those charity partners and do some good and provide some impact based purely on a procurement decision by regular Alberta consumers who are buying a non-differentiated product and just deciding to shop in a way that benefits a cause that they care about.
Right. And again, coming back to the idea that your model is socially conscious, but you are conscious of the idea that profitability is what drives the sustainability part of your business. I think a lot of businesses that might be listening to this, or business leaders listening to this, might have different opinions about where the emphasis should be on the profitability part or the social responsibility part. Can you talk about how you feel about that, the idea of
Oh, yeah.
balancing your profitability? Yeah, talk about that with us, so that leaders can understand that they can do both.
Well, if you can't be profitable, you can't accomplish any social good unless you've decided to become a not-for-profit and go down that route. But I mean, it's really important for us to be able to achieve economies of scale, to be able to get really good staff so that we can continue to supply a product that is the same or better than the alternative. So I think profit and social impact they don't need to be mutually exclusive. In fact, they shouldn't be mutually exclusive. Companies have to be able to make money in order to be able to offer good products at ultra competitive prices. Otherwise, why would anyone buy it? And therefore, you've got no money to be able to give out to those causes. So no, it's every single day a very important focus for us, the social mission, but also to survive and thrive as a company and be as competitive as we possibly can, because guaranteed our competitors aren't thinking about the social impact of things quite in the way that we are, and we need to keep up. So
Right. Right. It's fascinating because I've talked to fascinating to me because I really have had this conversation with so many people in multiple verticals of what we're talking about, the nonprofit sector, different profitable, businesses that are for profit, and then wherever they line up in their different industries and so on. And sometimes there's a feeling, there's a sense that the social good that can come from profitability is an afterthought. And what I'm hearing from you is that you've built it into your actual model, saying, I'm going to make sure I'm partnering with these charities, and then bring this business model forward. Am I hearing that right?
Absolutely. So we baked it into the DNA from day one. I mean, that was the reason to start the business. It's the reason to continue the business. It's the reason to grow the business. Um, and and I think it's equally important. It's not even about importance. It's just practical for us to be able to do both. We live in a society where we have to take care of people. We have to take care of our neighbors, and I don't understand why we don't bake this into all businesses and just go about our lives as a consumer in a way that aligns with our values. So, yeah, it makes sense on so many levels for employee retention, for profitability, even as well. We are profitable because of of our charity partners and because of our social impact and focus. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I couldn't agree more. And this is why I wanted to have this show. This is why I wanted to introduce you to the world and this concept, because you started with that, and this is what I really appreciate. Talk to me a little bit about the idea of the. I think there's a lot of nonprofits, that are probably watching this right now, or people that work and live in that world. And to your point, they're always looking for great partners, someone like yourself. They're looking for companies to approach about their cause and ask for that support, whether it's financial, whether it's volunteerism, whatever resources it is, they're reaching out to them. Talk about your selection process. Can you tell me what kind of criteria do you kind of think about when you say, I want to support that one, I want to support that one? I think nonprofits can learn from hearing that particular
Oh,
perspective from you.
I don't know if they're going to learn the right lesson here. I think a lot of it was, at first, and I'm talking literally over a decade ago, I researched the not-for-profits that I felt were important at the time, and we stuck with those partners for the most part. So obviously, there are thousands of charities, thousands of not-for-profit organizations that are in need for sure. And as a small company, we weren't able to take them all on and onboard them all and get their logos all enmeshed into our system. So we started with 50. We're still around that 50 mark. And it's not something that we're looking to necessarily expand at this time, because we wanted to be able to show impact with the ones we had, so that, we're not just giving $5 to a really small charity without being able to show some impact. So we've got small charities, large charities. At first, we tried to balance between animal welfare organizations and stuff related to kids and poverty. Tried to balance the charities out so that it wasn't Calgary or Edmonton centric necessarily. So I think naturally we achieved somewhat of a balance. I know there's a lot of worthy charities out there, and we just didn't have the bandwidth to do everything for everyone. So we did have to be selective.
Of course, and I think the purpose of just sharing that the process is that, again, the leadership of these organizations usually have some sort of passion project somewhere in their C-suite, somewhere within their organization of their employees. There's passion about multiple different charities, like you talked about, whether it's people's welfare, animal welfare, the environment, all kinds of different things that you can focus on. So whatever they're sort of passionate about normally finds its way into their charitable approach to things. You mentioned impact. I think that's a super important subject just to talk about quickly here, is that your measuring of that. How do you go about that, or when you're deciding that, how do you measure charitable impact if you are assessing a particular company or nonprofit? How do you do that?
Yeah. So again, I feel, and it's just personal opinion, it's not up to me to be the judge of these charities in terms of how they're spending their money or how much of their budgets are going to administration or whatever. Frankly, don't care. If they are good charities doing good work in their own way, I don't feel it's the position of my company to be able to judge that. We are letting our customers vote with their own feet. They're choosing the charity that they want to support when they sign up, and we respect that. So the dollars go to where people care the most. And it's interesting that, you'd be surprised people care about a lot of different things. So yeah, we celebrate that, we respect that, and we don't control where the money goes other than in the initial selection of our charities. Our customers choose from the drop-down list upon sign up who they want their component of the donation to go to. And it doesn't come out of their pockets. It's entirely out of our company's profit. Customers direct the traffic and we do the payouts. So yeah, I again, I don't feel it's up to us to judge or to evaluate or to make companies write giant applications to be partners with us. We support partners that we have. We work with them. These charitable organizations work tirelessly to do their own thing, and they really appreciate anything that we can bring in to their organizations. And the other thing too is that it's not only money that they get from us in terms of impact. We try to do everything we can to draw attention to their causes. We bring our employees to go and visit, to volunteer. I don't think there's a single charity organization that we've partnered with the exception of a couple that we're going to meet in Edmonton later on this week, that we haven't actually physically gone and met the people and toured their facilities and really understood their struggles. So yeah, it's not just money, it's attention, it's all of those things.
Yeah, you use a very important word that is actually out there in the meme of social media these days, which is attention. The idea, how do you get attention today? And this comes back to content creation and all the things that what we're doing today, streaming, all these kinds of different technologies. We're all fighting for that space of attention and trying to draw people to see and hear our story. And one of the things I really feel for nonprofits is that they usually don't have the budget to do that. They usually are so on the front line of doing things that they don't have a lot of time and energy and resources to do that. So I like the fact that you said that you don't feel it's your job to judge how they're kind of doing it. You just want to be able to feel comfortable with the level of impact. I appreciate that. That says a lot about your leadership as well. So I want to touch on that for a second, about your leadership philosophy or your style. I speak to a lot of different business people in general, and you are a business person. So you have a philosophy about how you lead an organization and so on. So how do you cultivate a culture within your organization that kind of makes sure that everyone feels the same way, that upholds this idea of business being profitable, and then these social objectives, let's say, you want to accomplish with partnering? What kind of philosophy would you say you have when it comes to your leadership on that?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I think a lot of it comes organically. Like, I could speak for our team. We've got a small team. We are all equally committed and fired up to notice that impact every day. So every time we have to go and bring a check or go visit a charity, we try to bring someone new within our company so that they also get to get away from the keyboard, for one, and also get to meet the people that we're doing it for. It's so hard when you're on the other end of a phone call with a customer who is frustrated with their bill, can't pay their bill. It's heartbreaking hearing the stories of regular Albertans dealing with utility bills. It's so nice, though, when our team gets to go out and see the reason that we're doing it, because it inspires them as it inspires me to keep doing it every day, to keep working as hard as we all do as a team, because we know it's worth it. We know that we're making a difference. We can see it. We get to go out there, cuddle kitties. We get to pet puppies. We get to, see kids get their wishes fulfilled by the work that we do. So it's great for us. The charities do the real hard work on the front lines, and we get to see kind of the good stuff, the happy stuff. And I think that makes my team motivated to continue and to just go that extra mile at the end of a really hard day, because just that one little thing to keep them going. So
That's beautiful philosophy for any leader, to suggest that you want to remind people that are on the front line of your business of why they're there. Why are we here? What are we doing? I see that meme in leadership conversations. People who coach and train C-suite people about again, driving purpose and vision for the front line, or for the organization in general. When you're building your culture, how do you get people to stay involved and understand the bigger picture? You just said it. Bring them out to out to the actual places that they're supporting, and let them see for themselves. I think that's super important. Talk about the community building part of this. Why was that always important to you? Like this idea that business should be part of the solution of building community. Sometimes we think that's the government's objective. They should be responsible for that. Maybe the nonprofit organizations. What about community building when it comes to for-profit? Why was that important for you when you started this whole thing?
well, like everyone, I care about our community, and seeing people who are struggling, animals who are struggling, people who are sick. We got to do something. So I guess my strength is not being on those front lines. It would be heartbreaking for me. I couldn't do it. It takes a really special kind of person to be there giving the primary care. And my strength is in business. It's not in that kind of caregiving. So, from my perspective, where can I be most valuable is to provide some sustainable solutions so those people can continue to do the great work that they do in our communities. And I can provide value to that as a business much more effectively than I could just showing up to volunteer. So yeah, I think building a system and changing the system from within is a more sustainable way of funding those organizations than the feast and famine that they're used to, which is, like you suggested, begging the government, writing and competing against each other for grants and any kind of money. And then being so reliant on the economy, and when businesses aren't doing good, they're not donating as much as they could. So if you bake this into a business model, then they will always have that funding. Even through COVID, when so many businesses went down, we had a sustainable, solid business because everyone needs power and gas. So we were fortunate, and we were able to continue to grow our donations to the charitable sector rather than pull back, because it was part of our business, not just let's kind of get a little bit of the spoils at the end, right? So.
Yeah. Oh, you touched on so many really important things that that we can all relate to. This idea of like having it available at the end of the process versus it being, as you said, baked into your actual model, so that it's not, when the economy does fluctuate, which it does, and we have the ups and downs that it does, we're not suggesting that number will change radically, because it's already part of what we do. When I say we, I'm talking about the business community. So the idea that we all live in this community, that's the other part of it. Business is not separate from our community. We live and work within our communities, and for them to play a big part in the community building is so important. Hey, I just want to, if you don't mind, Carolyn, there's a lot of people kind of watching here, which is fantastic. So I just want to give them a quick shout out. I appreciate this. Peter, good to see you, my friend. Really appreciate that. Peter, here he is, president of charitable nonprofit organization right there. So, this is what it's about. It's about trying to support others and making sure we're part of the community here. I wanted to throw up a shout out to this great person here, Chris Lomas. He's very impressed with your ability to support 50. I mean, and I want to do a shout out to you on that as well, because that's an incredible number to suggest that you have that many passions and ideas that you want to share and support across. And Chris Lomas, shout out to you, my friend. We'll be having a conversation soon enough as well. He does amazing work over in Moldova, that is for sure. So again, Melody just says, adds here, sounds like you created the soul of the company before you started the company. I think that's a great, would that sound appropriate to how you felt about it when you started it, Carolyn?
Oh, when you start anything, you don't know how it's going to go. So, I just think, yeah, I mean, that it's the soul of the company, but it's not like I provided the soul, right? I had an idea and worked hard and was able to gather some great people in the team, and I view the charities as our extended team as well. So.
Right. Okay. No, I appreciate that. That's a humble answer, by the way. I agree with Melody. I think that you gave it great thought and made it part of who you are. You know that you wanted to be. You just didn't just jump into entrepreneurship thinking I'm just going to go start a business. You thought about the heart and soul of it. So I appreciate that. Here's something I really want. I want to ask you this. I ask this pretty much of all people that I interview. When it I don't know. No, the uh-ohs come later. We're going to do some uh-oh. This one's easy. But the idea of philanthropy, it's such a, it's one of those aristocratic words, if you will, the idea of philanthropy. And, for me, it's just this, it's the love of humanity. It's giving back and supporting the community. I think people confuse it with, writing checks and going to cocktail parties and these kinds of things. So the word philanthropy, in your mind, what is philanthropy to you? What does that mean? What does the concept of philanthropy mean to you?
That's a tougher question than you might think. I mean, I think it's being selfless with your existence. So, and not just your personal existence, but, joining society and realizing that there are people there that need your generosity. So that's part of it. I don't even know if I consider what Sponsor Energy does philanthropy, frankly. I feel it's part of our business. I mean, really, not to be boring about it, but it's a boring industry that we're in. And, the primary way that our competitors get business is, going door to door, twisting the little old lady's arms, which is now illegal in Alberta, but, showing up at the malls, harassing people with little kiosks. We get to work with teams of people that care so that consumers make decision in the moment of passion, right? They care about the Meow Foundation. They hear that they can, benefit the Meow Foundation by doing something they have to do. It makes them feel good. So is that philanthropy on our part? Maybe, but it's just really part of our business model. So, the more that we grow, the better we do, the better the charities do, the more money flows their way. I'm not sure if I define that as philanthropy.
Hey, that's a humble answer. And no, I appreciate it. I've not heard it said that way before. I understand what you mean when it's part of what you do. Do you separate it and call it philanthropy? That's a great question. I know from speaking to enough business leaders, it seems like we make it separate. And to your point, we don't make it as part of what we usually do when it comes to making profits and our stakeholders and making sure our share price is a certain value and all those kinds of things. So to separate it out as philanthropy, sometimes, like you said, feels a little strange, but I appreciate your answer. I really, really do. Hey, let's talk about something exciting coming up for you. Well, for your organization and for people that live in this part of the world, but we're also going to be doing something that people from all around the world can watch, and we're going to be doing something live. So talk about this very special upcoming event called Country for Critters. Talk about that for us, would you?
Fantastic. Yeah, so again, this really might seem like it has nothing to do with our business, but one of the things about being an entrepreneur and, partnering with a bunch of fun charities is literally you can do whatever you want. So, we like to have fun and we like to do weird things that come to our minds as intriguing. So what we decided to do is put on a country concert to raise money for our 10 animal welfare charities. So we're working with 10 charitable organizations throughout Alberta, ranging from, Meow Foundation, ARCS, Humane Societies, Calgary Wildlife Rehabilitation Society, and a lot of smaller dog rescues in northern Alberta as well. So they're really struggling right now. They're at capacity, probably due to affordable housing and some other reasons why people aren't able to take in as many animals. But they're struggling, they're full, and they need help. So our solution is to put on a country concert. So we're putting on a fantastic event of the century at Ranchman's on April 28th. We've got up-and-coming country music superstar Garrett Gregory, who will be putting on an amazing concert. He's actually a local guy from Hanna, Alberta, who wrote and produced a song for us for Sponsor Energy called "Flip Off." So he'll be obviously singing that song and a bunch of his other gems. And yeah, we're hoping to fill the room. I think the capacity of Ranchman's is about 900 people. So we're going to fill the room in person. And then we're working with you, Peter, to put the live stream on throughout Alberta and globally, actually, so people can watch, people can donate, people can participate, and really have fun with this event. And ideally, we raise as much money as we possibly can for these Alberta animal welfare organizations.
You know, I got to tell you, like for me to bring together the idea of doing good, business, music, live streaming, live entertainment, live events. I mean, it's all of those things. So there's nothing crazy about that. This is exactly what more organizations can be doing, is bringing together a different group of people under different circumstances. Who doesn't love music, and enjoying an opportunity to network with like-minded people and these kinds of things. So I think this is fantastic. And yes, I am super excited about the live stream, because the live stream is going to be available to people. So wherever you are in the world, everybody, if you care about even animals at all, and I know that these charities might not be directly in your backyard, but the
animals don't care. Yeah, they don't care.
That's right. They don't care where you're from. That is for sure. And of course, we are going to do our best to put on an amazing live stream. And I think I can't overstate. I guess understated. I should understate it, because then the expectations are extremely high. But we, again, with the live band and Garrett playing music, and we're going to put together a show that hopefully feels exactly like that you can put it up on your television, on your big screen, and watch this. So we're going to have a ton of fun. There's some information right there, everybody, what it looks like. Speaking of someone like that, who can play, I know this guy. I've met this guy. I know his story. And man, if I ever told people the story of how I met this guy, you wouldn't believe it anyway. But I'm going to bring him up so we can have a little chat with him. We can bring him up. Garrett, how are you?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good to see you, my fine friend. Look at that. Look at that square jaw, everybody. Look at that handsome young man right there. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys too.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, we're super excited about your performance that night on April 28th. Let's jump right to it about your connection with Sponsor Energy and Carolyn, and your passion for wanting to help organizations, especially the nonprofit sector. Talk about your passion for that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, started out obviously that I love animals. I have 3 cats myself, and probably going to have about 50 more by the end of this whole this year. And basically, me and Bo sat down and we started writing a song together and everything, and it fit well with what Sponsor was doing and everything. So that's why they ended up getting that song, I guess, and using it for their commercial and everything, and it fit absolutely perfect for it. And so we got to talking, and I went to go meet Carolyn and the team there, and they were just a bunch of great people, amazing people that had like-minded ideas and everything, and they also love animals. So we ended up getting together, and Carolyn's like, well, hey, I have an idea. Why don't we put on a fundraiser, a benefit, a charity for all of these animal shelters all across Alberta and wherever else. Basically, I guess the sky's the limit, really. If we can help any animals, I am 100% in. It does not matter where they are. So I go to Mexico, and all those resort cats that are running around there, I'm just feeding them all my food off my plate and everything. But it's one thing that's always been close to my heart. I've always been passionate about animals and obviously music and everything. So yeah, that's kind of how we started out. So
I think it's fantastic. Listen, you brought up a really, really important point I wanted to mention as well. I'm going to see if I can get this a little bit of that video up for us so we can have a listen ourselves in a second. I'll put that up for us. But you mentioned something right there about, you know, even when you travel, for example, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you're passionate about animal welfare, for example, it doesn't matter where you are or where you're from. At that moment, you can make a difference. So it's very similar to what we're talking about here for people that want to tune into the live stream. As simple as a donation of $5 will get you access to a great concert by you, and I think that in itself is enough for tuning into, is to listen to basically an hour and a half of live music by an amazing country band. Tell us a little bit about again, why you think music really has that power. Why is music such a glue for this kind of conversation?
Well, I mean, that's been the question this whole time, and it's been the question since the beginning of time. Why is music what it is, and it has the power to move worlds? I mean, we've known that since the Beatles. It's always been, it's been one of the things, the main communications of the whole world, and people come together over music. It is something that moves people, and it speaks to their hearts, and it all has meaning. And depending on how you use music and how you project it and how you write it, it hits different parts of your soul. And I mean, it's always good to find someone that, you know, shares in that vision of yours and that piece of your soul, because I mean, that's where mine is. There's lots of artists out there that may not see the same way I do, right? And that's why they have different visions, different views, and different outputs and different music. So I just love to find those people that have the similarities with me.
Absolutely. Well, there's the video in the background. Listen to the production, everybody. Listen to this guy. I just want to play a little bit of the music for everybody. Whoa. How big is that production, my friend? That is fantastic. I mean, seriously, a super well produced track. I see the branded colors. I love that idea that you get, again, do a partnership with a company and an organization that you're passionate about. And I just think, again, the messaging within this song, of course, there's that underbelly. Carolyn, that's what you loved about it, I'm guessing, is that it has this tone of hey, you can tell the some of those companies to go in a different direction if you want. Is that
It's awesome. It's a song that just pumps you up, and you can't get it out of your head once you hear it. So yeah, you've got some fight in you. You wanna listen to this song. And I mean, Garrett's amazing. His voice is amazing. The song's amazing. So it's fun. This is great. It's we couldn't be happier with this. Yeah.
It is fun. I love the idea that you had the vision to kind of think like that. And I think that's just another just feather in the hat to talk about your leadership, to be able to have that kind of vision, to kind of tie it together with things that resonate with people. And music does that. As a musician, or I want to be a musician. I wish I was a good musician, but Garrett's a real musician. I can play one on TV. But music has that incredible way to connect people. And I love the fact that you're using music to bring people together. And then of course we're bringing it together for the live stream itself and doing that. So Garrett, hey, my friend, I so appreciate you tuning in and just coming on board with us right here. I want to give a good shout out to you, my fine friend, because listen, local music, everybody, we should be supporting local music everywhere. This guy works hard. He's a songwriter. He's a recording artist. He plays live. There's his website. Make sure you go and check him out. He has some amazing songs. I wish I had. Hey, we'll get you back on the show, buddy. We'll have a good conversation.
Thanks, guys.
And
you have a lovely day, guys.
Hey, thanks for showing up, man. It's good to see you. And we're going to see you on the 28th, right? Rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, you will.
Rock and roll. You will. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. That's fantastic, Karen. I'm so excited for what this show is going to do and bringing the people together. And I think you chose a really, really cool guy there. That is for sure.
Oh, he's cool. And he's I mean, he cares. He's showing up to, you know, some ARCS events, and I mean, this guy is super committed. So it just couldn't be a more perfect partner.
Right. I couldn't agree with you more. You need to find those great partners that understand what you're doing and feel passionate about what you're doing. I'm just going to quickly check the comments here because we got so many great people here that are tuning in. I bet you some of these are, we're going to go back to all the comments, everybody. I go through every single one of them myself. I'm going to encourage Carolyn to do the same to make sure that we get back to you if we haven't talked to you directly. And again, is looking for, here it is here. As someone just mentioned, let's say, looking forward to hearing Garrett live and raising lots of funds for Alberta animal organizations. So thank you, Anne. Appreciate that very much. Thanks for tuning in to watch the show. And yeah, we'll see you out on the 28th, which will be fantastic. Okay, Carolyn, guess what? You made it this far. I know that I don't know how many podcasts or shows, or I don't know what you would call this, but I like to think of it as a show. And I think one of the things that I mentioned to you when we were testing the screen, the connection, I said, I can't find a whole bunch about you out on the internet. I do a lot of research, and as a business leader, you stay nice and quiet. You just buckle down and do your business. So it's hard to find a whole bunch about you, which means I don't know a lot about you. But guess what? We're going to fix that right now. We're going to fix that right now. We're going to fix that with a little this and that. That's what we're going to do. See, we're going to do a little this or that. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to do. Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah, she's like, what is he talking about?
I have no idea, but that's okay.
We're going to do a little this or that. We're going to figure out a little bit about you. And hey, I'm just going to throw out 2 ideas. You just pick one of them. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you then just by your answers, we're going to figure out a little bit what's going on with Carolyn. Let's see how you pick these or this or that. Hey, how about have a superpower or have super intelligence?
Well, what if you already have one of the two? I was kidding. What would I pick?
Well, do tell. Which one is it?
Let's go with super intelligence.
What if you already have one? I love that. Okay, I already know what I'm up against now. Okay, I got you. Okay, we're going to. What about be able to stop time or be able to go back in time?
I don't need to go back in time. I mean, because you don't know what you're going to unravel and, you know, what other things. You just got to, it's all about going forward. So yeah, stopping time might be fun. I'll stick with stop time.
Stop time. Yeah, I like that idea too. I agree with you. How about this homemade meal or a fancy restaurant? What do you like?
I like food. As long as it has some good wine, I'll go with either one.
Oh,
So,
you won me over. Oh, I agree.
yeah.
Are you red or white? Red or white wine? Just curious.
I like both. I'm mainly red, but on a nice summer's day, I'll go for the white.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How about this? Read minds or predict the future?
Read minds.
Wouldn't that be something? Why would you want to do? I don't know. I'm thinking that would be a cool one to do. Anyway, I won't ask you that. I think that would be a really super cool one. How about be a kid for life or be an adult for life? You can only do one.
Forever. Well, back to the wine theme, I think I have to be over 18. So I'll stick to the adult.
I tend to agree with that. How about write a best-selling novel or sing a hit song? Speaking of music.
I'll stick with the novel. I don't think I have any musical skills, which is why I appreciate Garrett Gregory so much.
Right. Here's one that I had to give a great thought. I still haven't got an answer for this. Speak to animals or speak every human language.
Oh, definitely speak to animals.
Right.
Because humans can figure it out, but we don't know what the animals are saying. I think that's uncharted territory that I'd love to explore.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money there. I think you're right on the money. How about the ability to change the past or the ability to see the future?
Again, I don't look in the rearview mirror ever, so I'll go with the future.
Oh, I love that. That's great philosophy. I love that. This is one of my favorite ones. No right or wrong on this one. Hope or freedom?
Freedom. Because then you have the freedom to change things. I mean, hope could be subjective. It might not even be based on reality. So with freedom, there's hope.
I love it. No right or wrong on that. Couldn't agree with you more. Finish this sentence for me. I love my life because
it is it's interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah, isn't it? I mean, I heard that today from you. It is interesting. It's interesting that you're passionate about what you do. It's interesting that you believe in the idea that business can have this purpose-driven mission, still be profitable, still be part of the community, still building community, building culture within your organization, helping these nonprofits, especially the ones like you said that don't necessarily get the shout out that they deserve, because they're riding under the radar a lot. They don't have the ability to attract the attention that sometimes they need. So, Carolyn Martin, this has been an awesome conversation. I just want to tell you that you were awesome, and
so thanks.
I'm trying my best. I want to thank you so much for this opportunity to share your vision and your mission, and also wanted to thank you for getting me involved with your upcoming event. That's going to be fantastic. So I hope everybody, even people that aren't from this part of the world, you can certainly still come out and support through the live stream. So that's going to be on April 28th. That's what we're doing on April 28th. It's called Country for Critters. Very special event. And again, if you're in the southern Alberta area, you can certainly come and attend that. It would be wonderful to see you. And if not, you can tune into the live stream. There's lots of ways that you can figure out how to get involved with it. For any businesses that are seeing this for the first time and you're not exactly sure where to start, maybe you can start at the website. Just go to sponsorenergy.com and follow a couple links, and the next thing you know, you're going to be part of our wonderful event that's coming up. Carolyn, it's just been a joy. That's all I can say to you. It's been a joy to be part of this. I'm so glad that we met. I'm looking forward to actually seeing you and meeting you in person. I know that you're going to see some charities this week, and so take lots of pictures and take lots of videos for me so I can get up to speed on what you're doing. And thank you for all that you do for our community. It's really that simple. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much, Peter. Hope you have a great rest of the day.
Yes, we sure will. You stick around. I'll come back and see you in behind the curtains after it's all said and done. And hey, everybody, you know how this goes. Just be kind out there. That's all you have to do. I mean, that's all you have to do is just be kind, everybody. Just be kind out there. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next show. And Carolyn, we'll see you on the other side. Have a good rest of the day, everybody. Take care. Here we go. Hey, here's the thing. Just be kind. Yeah. Just be kind out there. That's all you have to do. Just be kind out there. I mean, that's all you have to do. Just be kind out there, everybody. Hey, just be kind. Just be kind out there, everybody. I mean, just be kind. That's all you have to do. You know the drill. Just be kind out there, everybody. Just be kind. Just be kind out there, everybody. That's all you have to do, right? Exactly. Just be kind out there, everybody.